Joining us now, Democratic Governor Tony Evers of Wisconsin. He was with Vice President Harris yesterday at her rally outside Milwaukee. And Governor, thank you so much for being on the show this morning. I want to know how you're feeling about her campaign, especially after seeing her at the rally, connecting with people. And what are your feelings about the challenges ahead?
Well, she did a great job yesterday. It was an extraordinary day. People were fired up. It was a large crowd. We couldn't have put any more people in the room, over 3,000. And she hit the right notes. She talked about her background. She talked about making sure that we have good schools, good health, and good roads, good infrastructure. And she took on the former president too about his issues. And so I just was really pleased with what happened yesterday. Lots and lots of energy. This is going to be. We will win this. We will win in Wisconsin. She will win in Wisconsin, and come November 5th. And so I'm looking forward to that.
So, Governor, obviously going forward, it's going to be a campaign where she will be vilified by the right. She probably expects that. Everyone expects that. But basically, this looks to be a contest that's steering up between yesterday and tomorrow. Past Trump administration and the tomorrow, perhaps, of a Vice President Harris's administration. So in those terms, specifically, the things that help people in state after state, including Wisconsin, what impact would it have on Wisconsin if something like child tax credit finally passed and help children in Wisconsin? What impact does that make on a state?
Huge. It's part of our, it's a strength of our economy in Wisconsin. We're reliant on the child care industry itself to making sure that if people want to go to work, that they have somebody to take care of their kids. We've been working for that for a long time here in Wisconsin, and at the federal level, whatever they can do to make sure that child care, it is so important for our little kids to be able to have that kind of help going forward. But it's also important, if somebody has to leave the workforce, and we have a low unemployment rate in the state of Wisconsin, and we can't afford, if people want to work, they should work, and they are working. But in order for many of them to do that, they have to have high quality child care. I know it's a federal issue, it's a state issue too. That's a winner for us.
Governor Al Sharpton, as we see this race now come into what is going to be full swing very shortly after the Democratic convention, you're the governor of a state that has to deal with the rural as well as the urban centers of Milwaukee. What are the issues both in your state, which is going to be critical, and around the country, where you have this mixture where the country is going to be decided really by a lot of battleground states like your state? What are the issues that you think will most energize your voters to come out? You're a Democratic governor. There clearly is going to be a tight race there, in my opinion, between Mr. Trump and Vice President Harris. What do you think will drive a maximum turnout among Democratic voters?
And whether they're rural or urban in the state of Wisconsin, issues around making sure that we have good infrastructure, but good schools, good health care, all those things that I mentioned earlier. Those are rural issues. Those are city issues. And so I think Kamala Harris has the right tone, the right energy around these issues. She's going to be talking about the future. Obviously, former President Trump is going to be fighting around what the heck happened when he was president and what he's been doing since, which God knows what that is. So it is a rural and urban issue. She will win Wisconsin focusing on infrastructure, making sure we have good roads, making sure that we have broadband for everybody, a positive view of the future. That's what she's going to bring to that. And whether you're a rural person in Wisconsin or an urban or suburban, those things are critically important.
Governor, tonight from the Oval Office, President Biden will address the nation and discuss why he is not running for re-election. Wanted to give you this moment to discuss what sort of president do you think Joe Biden has been and your thoughts on his decision to step aside.
Yeah, that was really difficult. That was an emotional issue for me personally. I'm a friend of his. I got to know him during his time in office, and he's done so much for the state of Wisconsin. I know that's the case for any of the other 49 states in the USA, whether it's issues abroad. You know, the whole issue of making sure that we have broadband. We're not done with that issue. We have to continue. But things that he did for our state around infrastructure, making sure that our roads are safe. You know, we're talking about fixing the damn roads all the time, and we couldn't have done it without him. He's been a leader, and he's done the right thing for Wisconsin. He has, and having him drop out was, you know, maybe not a surprise, but you know, he did it in a way that I think he runs his life and runs his politics, and that is just doing the right thing for people. We're going to miss him. He's going to be here for the next several months, and so I'm looking forward to working with him. But he has been extraordinary president, and I've been around a while. And he's easily one of the best.
All right. Democratic Governor Tony Evers of Wisconsin, thank you so much for being on the show this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.